everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Here we've got two teams who will look to their running backs to try to control the pace of the game. It's the Packers going up against the Browns. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth. So we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at FirstEnergy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. Hi again, folks. I'm Brandon Godden. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And as we all know, Charles, offenses today, they're driven by the passing attack. But Larry highlighted in the open a couple of running backs who might just disagree with that assessment.
Yeah, and sometimes, occasionally you get a game where running backs will match each other, kind of carry for carry on opposite teams. But for the most part, they focus on themselves. How many touches will they get, and can they create big plays for their own team?
And both of these guys, certainly more than 5-10 touchbacks. They're workhorses. Sammy Coates now to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. As the Cleveland Browns take the field, heartbreaking loss last week for them, trying to get that first win of the year, but lost in OT to the Titans. I want to ask you about the quarterback position. DeShone Kizer benched early in the second half, so just going back and forth, quarterback change after quarterback change.
Yeah, and I have to admit I'm a little bit surprised by that, because when he picked DeShone Kizer, or when DeShone Kizer was picked, I should say, to start the season, I thought that meant they were going to ride with him kind of through thick and thin, all right? And this is obviously a team not going to the playoffs. I'd want to see him handle every situation so I know what I have and be able to evaluate that going forward. Do they need to draft another quarterback next year? Do they need to pick up a veteran? But yo-yoing in and out of the lineup, a little surprising to me.
And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland. 2016 was a very tough year for Cleveland offensively, but head coach Hugh Jackson, who also handles the play calling, has high hopes for 2017 with a revamped offensive line and his creativity in play calling. 10 yards still left on second down.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Kizer. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Nick Perry able to run him down for a loss of a yard. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
So a tough spot for Kizer. The sack, and now it's third and long.
Come on, let's go. Ryan 38.
To throw is Kizer. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
The eighth-year man from Tennessee, this is Britton Colquitt on to punt. Trevor Davis, deep for Green Bay. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Well, Charles Davis, you broadcasted the Green Bay-New Orleans game this last week. So as the Packers come out, led by Brett Hundley, what did you see from him?
I saw some flashes, saw the reason why he was the #2 quarterback in Green Bay. You saw the talent that he brought with him from UCLA when he was drafted in the 5th round 2015. Scored a touchdown with his legs on a 14-yard run. But getting the ball downfield, that was a struggle for him because the top receivers for Green Bay, they didn't touch it enough. Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, just 5 receptions among them.
Here's the rookie from UTEP, Aaron Jones. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. Now Hundley. And this one complete to Martellus Bennett. And he'll be knocked down sideways at the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Have you gotten used to seeing Martellus Bennett number 80? I mean, he's been number 88 his entire career, right?
And how about that, the fans selecting his jersey number?
Yeah, that was his idea. He put that out there on social media and said, here are a few choices. What should I wear? And he went with what the fans picked. Over 100,000 people weighed in.
Let's go!
Throwing, Hundley. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know Devontae Adams really developed in 2016 as a receiver for Green Bay. I think he had plenty of incentive because when Aaron Rodgers breaks contain, gets out of the pocket, anything can happen downfield. You can find yourself open, can't you?
And it makes Adams a high-volume guy. Week 7 and 8 last year, 25 catches, highest 2-game total in the illustrious history of the Packers. Back to throw here. And he's got some space here. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. He completes it to Jordy Nelson. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Caught on the right side by Jones. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He'll look to throw. Caught by Nelson left side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. For Jordy last year, tremendous. NFL's comeback player of the year, 97 catches, over 1,200 yards, and led the NFL 14 receiving touchdowns.
Well deserving to be the comeback player of the year, but I know these types of competitors, they don't like to be the ones to come back from anything. They just want to be consistent, and Jordy Nelson is definitely that.
Back to throw now on first down. Going for it all. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So they get the field goal here at the end of the second quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board, and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This one fielded at the 5. So we've hit halftime in what was obviously a very fast-moving first half of play. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. Both the Browns and the Packers have very low rushing totals. It has not been an effective part of either team's game plan, and you wonder if either side will give a more concerted effort to run it in the second half. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Browns opening the game on offense. Perry's got to get to the quarterback here. This ends up with a short loss in yardage. Packers with the ball midway through the second. Hundley's on target here, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 37-yard line. Packers would go on to kick a field goal. So that'll do it from our EA Sports Studios. Let's get you back up to Cleveland as we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They're going to look to throw. And this is incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Aaron Jones, that time. And it's 3rd and short.
We see passes like that all the time, don't we? He's back there surveying the field, clock ticking in his head, trying to avoid the sack and the hit. Led him just a little bit too much trying to get out to his running back.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And, he'll be shoved to the turf that time, right on the 30-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
On now is the Packers punter, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. They begin with a run by Crowell. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Second down, Kaiser throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Kenny Britt that time. And that takes us from second to third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. This defense so strong all afternoon long. Well executed again there.
This is a group that really functions well off of each other. No matter what the assignment, the other person fills in the exact proper spot. They've made it very, very hard for them to find open places to throw the football.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. What a decision to go for it on fourth from their own territory, and it pays off. 44 yards. Back to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
So 2nd and 10 here. He'll look to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Kaiser to throw. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. First things first here, they got to pick up the 1st down.
And remember, it is 4th down, so they've got to pick up a completion here. Otherwise, this one's over.
A big one coming now for the kicker, Zane Gonzalez. This to potentially send us to overtime. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. First down carry by Jones. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Let's go! Brand 38!
Back to throw. And now he'll turn, and off his back foot, he'll heave this deep. And that is incomplete. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. On the return, Jabril Peppers. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. A first down carry now for Crowell. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Second down following the run.
Here we go! Brand 38!
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. After the penalty, it's Crowell. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going. The Browns on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14. Now the first throw in overtime for Kaiser. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Nick Perry in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Here's Britton Colquitt now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done. Now part 2. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Second down to the offense, needing 5 yards. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now we're going to get a timeout with 5 seconds left here in overtime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. second down following the incompletion.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Now is the Packers punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Very tough spot here for the offense to start. Now a handoff to Crowell. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll run it again with Crowell. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Kaiser now to throw on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Come on, let's go.
Kaiser now on 2nd down. He's got a man complete. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
And everything right now rests on the right foot of Zane Gonzalez. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Browns are going to win the football game. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game. And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So